Hey there, this is April with Wilkerson, and I have 4 dogs, and typically whenever I'm inside the house, then they are as well. And so I finally got around to making a doggy gate so that whenever I do let them in, this will cut off their access to the rest of the house. So if a doggy gate, or even perhaps a baby gate, is on your to-do list, then stay tuned, and I'll show you how I made this one. So I kind of have my boards laid out the way that I'm going to want them for the gate. And my door jamb is 32 inches. And so I cut each one of these boards to be 2 5/8 each. And then that puts them at 31 7/16, which leaves me 9/16 for this door hinge. And now on this hinge, typically it's mounted like this, but I don't want to put an extra post on the end of this gate just so that this will have something to mount to. And so what I'm going to try to do is tuck it in like this and mount this to the inside of the door jamb itself. I don't see why I can't do that, but maybe I'm missing something. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a try to see if it works. This was my very scientific way of getting a rounded top. I grabbed a scrap and clamped it in place, and then bent one side down to the mark that I made in the previous step, and then just traced it out. Now I'm transferring this art to a spare piece of board, simply by placing the board under the gate and then using a pencil to trace it out. Then I used a speed square just to carry down my lines. In order to get a bottom curve that matched the top, what I did is I randomly chose several different points to measure down 1.25 inches and then make several small marks. Since I don't have a benchtop belt sander, I just grabbed my portable sander, put it in my vise upside down, and then put the lock on. So before I put in the hardware, I want to give it a quick painting, at least the heads. And in order to not get paint on the threads, I just picked up a random piece of cardboard, happens to come off a screw box, and I'm just shoving them in. That way only the heads will get painted. And I'm just painting the heads black in order to match this hardware, just so that they don't stand out as much. Am I the only one that likes to do this? Kind of get a visual whenever you can tell you're at a step where it's actually starting to look like something. I'm there. It is starting to look like something. I'm using these boards as a way to keep all the individual slats straight once I start tightening everything down. Then these are to keep everything squished together. Notice how I put a piece of cardboard under the metal part in order to protect the wood. Give it a few taps and then just finish tightening it down. Well, I don't have any bar clamps, so like the drunken woodworker says, limitations make you more resourceful. Now a little bit of sanding. Maybe some dancing. Then some more sanding. I first applied a coat of this pre-stained wood conditioner. After letting it sit for 5 minutes, I came back with this dark walnut stain. Then after another 5, I just wiped it off. Okay, so instead of trying to attach a latch and having something poke out from this door jamb, just begging to jab me into the leg whenever I'm walking through here with the laundry basket, I'm going to try a magnet approach in order to keep this in place. And I found these tiny little small magnets in my husband's toolbox, actually. Shh. And they're very small, but they're very, very powerful. They actually take quite a bit of effort to get them apart. But what I'm going to try to do, I don't have 4 snare bits. And so I'm going to use a regular drill bit in order to counterbore slightly into the door jamb and then also into the gate itself. When drilling these holes, I applied very little pressure and just took away a little bit of material at a time. I would dry fit the magnet and then use my other magnets in order to pull it out. To make sure that the magnets aligned properly, I closed the gate and transferred my marks. Then just repeated the process on the gate side. I use liquid nail to hold them permanently. I might go ahead and add a third one. Well, another project complete, and I must say I'm pretty happy with it. Since I have small dogs, this situation with the magnets, I did add a third one, so I have 3 holding it together. It's going to work out just fine for me, but if you have larger dogs, or if you're going to be using the gate as a baby gate, then I definitely recommend getting an actual gate latch in order to hold it shut. But yeah, the black hardware, I don't know if you can pick it up too well in the video, but adds a nice little flare over in this area. And then even the hinges, they worked out just fine. I can open up the gate all the way and just let it hang out there if I don't feel like messing with it and the dogs are outside. And if they are inside, then I can just snap it back closed. So leave me your comments or questions down below if you have any. And I guess I'll see you next time.